Hello, my name is Glenn Street, founder and top dog of Street Characters Inc. We entertain the world by creating the absolute best mascots, period. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you find this presentation informational. Today, I'm going to hopefully answer the questions: why should we have a mascot, and why should it be a Street Characters mascot? First, a little about my background. As I said, I am top dog and founder of Street Characters. In 1984, I worked as Harvey the Hound, the very first mascot in the National Hockey League and one of the first mascots in professional sports. When NHL teams would come and play my team, I would inevitably get a call a few days later saying, "Hey, we loved Harvey. Could you build a character for us?" Well, my answer was always no. As I was just really doing this for fun, I didn't think it was a real business. But the calls just became too many to ignore, and Street Characters was born to create characters for everyone else. With over 25 years of experience, we are true pioneers in our industry and have never looked back. We've been recognized with many nominations and awards, including a Pinnacle Award for Business Excellence, which puts us in the company of some great companies and business people, including the former chairman of the National Hockey League. We've also worked with many of the top brands and major league teams around the world. In fact, the only continent we don't have a mascot on is Antarctica. So why a mascot? You know, we work with many schools, teams, businesses, and organizations who are looking to have a mascot, or street characters I like to call them. They really only want a character for two reasons. They are either looking to enhance their brand, or they are looking to enhance the entertainment value for the fans at their game. Let's start with enhancing the brand. I could go on for hours telling you so many great stories and experiences to illustrate how a mascot can impact your business. I could tell you about walking around Manhattan and the locals shouting, "Harvey, Harvey!" But I think I've come up with some great stories for you. There are many stories of how a restaurant or a store sent out their mascot and how it positively affected sales while it was in front of the store. One of my favorites comes from my old business coach and mentor, Dr. Peter Gregg. You see, Peter started out as Rangoon Pete at the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland around the time it opened. And eventually he became Walt Disney's right-hand man. Peter once told me of a discussion he had with Walt, where Peter claimed he could look at the sales of each store on Main Street and not only tell that there was a character in front of it, but he could actually tell which character it was. Walt was skeptical, but Peter told Walt to get the sales stats for whatever day and time he wanted. Walt did, and Peter was able to nail it every time. Now, I recognize that not everyone watching this video has a retail outlet. You may be just trying to increase your visibility in today's crowded world of the internet and 500 channels on TV. A few years back, I was asked by the National Hockey League to speak at their league meetings about my team's experience having the most successful mascot in the NHL. I gave my presentation and there were many great questions. At the very end, one of the executives of the Flames stood up and said, "You have to understand, even in our hockey-mad city, you can take our marquee player and you can take our mascot and send them down the street together. More people are going to recognize our mascot." That was quite an endorsement. The message, of course, being that your street character can be a high-profile, tangible representation of your brand. We like to call them a walking business card. Think about it. You could have your own walking business card, interacting with your customers and promoting your organization. To see how effective they are, just walk down the cereal aisle at your local supermarket. Or look at the food industry. MasterCard even has a commercial out where a group of mascots get together for dinner. I'll bet you know each and every one of them. That's the power of a mascot. It's important to understand that you don't need the budget of a Fortune 500 company to make your street character work. You really just need to get him out where the people are and watch your brand stand out from the crowd. I'm limited for time, but you can also use your character to increase your revenue through merchandise. Be sure to check out our online store to get some ideas. As well, teams can use their character to enhance their in-game entertainment, use them for games, in-game promotions such as Cheer for Your Pizza, and use your character to enhance value for sponsors by having your character show up at sponsor events. It really reinforces their commitment to your team. Some teams are even able to charge for their characters' appearances. Now, why a street character? In a simple answer, experience. In building street characters, I've placed a true focus on excellence. Did you know that many of the companies who build mascots are doing so because they saw an opportunity, not because they have any experience? Whereas we were first users of our product who became manufacturers because we couldn't find anyone who could properly build a safe and user-friendly costume for us. Think about it. There must be a reason why you are chosen to work with so many highly active sports mascots. It's because they're the most difficult to build because they are highly active over such long periods of time. We've even seen our characters scuba dive and skydive, although I wouldn't recommend it for your character. We work with our clients on what I call our 3 keys to success. You must have the right costume, the right person inside, and the organization must be fully committed to what is needed to have a great mascot. Let's start with the right costume. Do you know the easy part is making your character look the way you want it to look? The tougher part is making it user-friendly. After all, if your performer can't wear the costume, it's really of no use to you. You really want your costume to be lightweight, durable, easy to maintain. All of our costumes are machine washable. You want it to be mobile, comfortable, and it has to be safe. I can't get into all the details here, but I can tell you we only use materials that meet these criteria. Anything directly over your performer has to breathe, and any materials that absorb moisture or sweat have to be washable. In other areas, such as the head and the feet, you want materials that don't absorb moisture, so they aren't destroyed in the rain or don't become a health hazard if they get wet. Go to our website at mascots.com and click on the yellow warning triangle to learn of pitfalls to avoid when getting your mascot. You should also know that in order to create excellence, you have to hire excellence. All of our team members are the absolute best in the industry. Most of the people we hire have a college or university degree in their craft. They have to have either formal training in garment construction or theater to work for us. This is a standard no one else has, but it shows in the quality and look of your street character. No corners are cut here. The next key for you is to find the right person and be a prepared organization. You know, many years ago when we first started, there weren't people with a lot of experience being a mascot. We would send a new character off to the client or team who would then ask, who's going to wear it? They would inevitably look around and say, let's get the bat boy to wear it, or the intern. And a couple of weeks later, I'd get a phone call from the client saying, the character's just not working. We can't understand why we don't have the San Diego chicken. When I would look at the situation, it became obvious to me they didn't have any tools for success. That's why I created Street Smarts, our video and book on how to run a mascot department. The video is a 3-part training DVD on how to be a mascot for your performer. Video 1 starts with the basics. Video 2 is intermediate, and video 3 is for sports mascots, with such subjects as how to entertain crowds and how to deal with media. It's a terrific asset for anyone with a character. Our manual is for the setup and operation of your character, from how to hold an audition to samples of booking forms when the appearance requests come in for your character. It's all there so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The video and book are the only mascot resources I know of, and again, speak to our core value of creating the absolute best for you. I want to thank you for your time today. Hopefully I've given you some ideas on how a street character can be a great asset for your organization and how you can benefit from our unique knowledge and expertise. I encourage you to check out our website at mascots.com. I often hear it's a great resource for people who are thinking about or who have a mascot. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at 1-888-MASCOTS or email us at info@mascots.com. And remember, we entertain the world by creating the absolute best mascots, period.